Hi, I'm James Pickens Jr. I play Dr. Richard Weber on Grey's Anatomy, and you're watching Courtside with Marc, the exec producers, and he actually directed the pilot. He said, "So Jim, tell me, what are you doing for the next 5 years?" That's a true story, and the 5 years has turned into 22 seasons.
Hey everybody, Marc Israel, and welcome back to Courtside from LA. We came out to LA over All-Star Weekend to interview a bunch of different people, and Byron Scott was nice enough to invite us to co-host and sponsor a charity event that he was doing. We were able to set up a podcast room in a bowling alley where the event took place, and he sent us a lot of cool people to talk to. One of the coolest was Jim Pickens. You probably know him as Dr. Richard Weber from the long-running TV show Grey's Anatomy. We talked a little bit about Grey's and an interesting connection that Jim had to an NBA franchise. Check it out. So it's my pleasure to have Jim Pickens here. Jim, thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And right before we went on the air, my daughter, who's sitting right there, said, "Dad, Jim was on Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
I saw him for years. So why don't we start there? Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?"
Well, I've been on since day one. We're now in season 22. It's been an amazing blessing. Been a heck of a job, and we're closing in on almost 500 episodes now. And it's been a dream gig. I couldn't have asked for a better one.
And that's incredible. So let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
How did you even get that gig? And is there and I've never heard of a show that goes on for 22 years.
Yeah, this one, you catch lightning in a bottle, and that's what we did with this show. I'd come off of a series for NBC, and then I get a call, long story short, from my manager, and it says, "Hey, there's this hospital drama that they want you to come in on." I said, okay. And, at that point, I was just looking for another job. Right. The actor's dilemma. Once you get one job, you're looking for the next.
Right.
And so I went in to meet with these people. And at that time, the creator of the show, Shonda Rhimes, who has gone on to be the Uber content creator out there. Yes. She had created the show. It didn't have a name at the time. It was called Scrubs, and then it was called the Untitled Shonda Rhimes Project and stuff. And so I went into read for this role and went over to Disney, and they asked me to come back. And at that time, the exec producers were there, and I think some folks from Disney, and they said, okay. I read the scene, which actually was the pivotal scene of the pilot, and they said, can you wait outside? And you get that a lot. You're like, oh, okay, I'm about ready to pack my stuff up and head on out of here. And assistant came in back in and said, hey, can you come back in? They want to talk with you. I said, sure. So I went in, and one of the exec producers, and he actually directed the pilot, who's no longer there. But he said, so Jim, tell me, what are you doing for the next 5 years? That's a true story. And the 5 years has turned into 22 seasons.
That's incredible. Yeah. I mean, it's not the first hospital series that's been on TV, not the first medical series. No. What is it that's different about Grey's Anatomy that has given it the lasting power, that it's not just 5 years? You say it's 22 500 plus episodes. Well, what is different about it than some of the other shows that have come and gone over the years?
It's a soap opera.
Yeah.
It's a soap opera. Right. And folks like story still, even with the streaming platforms and alternatives to viewing. Folks still like story, and we've been blessed to have some amazing writers. We've told some amazing stories over the course of 22 seasons. We were the longest running medical drama in TV history, and now I think we're even the longest running drama on ABC. Wow. And so we've done something right, and it keeps resonating with, now you're talking maybe even third generation of folks. I mean, when she was watched, we premiered in 05, right. So she was,
she's 23 today.
So
that's 21 years ago.
So we constantly kept generating a new audience, people who had never seen the show before. Thanks to Hulu, and Netflix, we were able to garner a whole new audience that watched the show and now have been huge fans.
So you're not the man today that you were 22 years ago. Meaning you've evolved, you've changed.
Sure.
Like we all have. Sure. Has your character changed with it?
Oh yeah, He's been through as they say, the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune over the years. But they've written a character that I couldn't have asked more of. And I'm truly blessed with the writers who have invested in this character. And I've been through the health issues and marriage issues and illegitimate kid issues and the whole 9 yards. And but folks have seemed to respond to it over the last 22 seasons. So I've been pretty blessed.
And are you the only guy who's been on the show the whole 22 years?
Myself and the actress Chandra Wilson, who plays Dr. Bailey. We are the only 2 remaining original cast members from the original 9. Wow. We're the only ones still standing.
So you're the OG.
Well, definitely the OG.
So yeah. you said to me you're originally from Cleveland, spent some time in New York. How long you been out in L.A.?
Oh my God, too long. 35 years. Wow, way too long.
And we were talking a little bit about before we went on the air, talked a little bit about the fact that I have a podcast that's sort of centered around basketball. Are you a fan or you?
I'm a big fan of basketball. I have been for a long time.
Who's your team?
Oh, Cavaliers.
Oh, there you go. You're a Cavs fan.
I'm a Cavs fan. Actually, my nephew, my brother's son, has been working for the Cavs for about 11 years now. He's director of promotion.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I've been a big Cavs fan.
So you're a fan of these Donovan Mitchell teams?
Oh, the Spider. Yeah. And now they got James Harden. They're going to look like they're going to be a team to be reckoned with coming down to the second half of this after the All-Star game. It's going to be interesting to see.
That's really good. There've been a lot of, obviously LeBron, Brad Daugherty, a lot of guys come through.
Yeah, a lot of Marc Price. They have a long history, Cavs. They got the one championship back in 2016, 10 years ago. But brought that to Cleveland, and I've been a big Cavaliers fan for a long time.
So even though you're here out in LA, your friends didn't twist your arm and turn you into a Lakers fan.
Well, I'll watch the Lakers fan, and I know Byron Scott and those guys, and so I remember the Showtime Lakers. I was a big fan of those, and I was and I know Magic and those guys, and we've been in social events together. And that Showtime team they were something, the great rivalries they had with the Boston Celtics. And I remember those from way back.
It's amazing, man. Well, I really enjoyed this, and I didn't know it was an extra treat. My daughter, who's standing right over there, said, "Hey, don't you know who that is?" And I'm really glad that I got to meet you. I appreciate spending a couple of minutes with you. And here's to another 22 years on the show, man.
From your mouth to God's ear.
It's beautiful, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
So good to meet you. All right, there you go, and that's a wrap on this week's episode. Thanks so much for watching. And since you made it this far, do me a solid. Hit the subscribe button down below, leave a review, send the episode to a buddy who you think would enjoy it. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.